everybody? How you doing? You already know. Another episode of CannaConvos. You can see right there the banner. The light's shining on it. I was just thinking about blocking it out a little bit. Check this. See. How you doing today? We're sending this out to everybody today on this episode of CannaConvos. What up? What up? What up? How you doing today? We have Defiant Seed on today, all right? Now, for the guys who don't know, Defiant Seed is a breeder. He's been following me for a minute. Sent over a bunch of merch, man. He's got the merch game is on point, but it's only for the homies. We'll talk about it here in a minute when he gets on. So I've had him on here before, and we a couple months ago. Berto, what up, him? I had him on a couple months ago, but we're doing a part 2 because it's been a minute, and the new followers, you guys haven't seen him yet. So there's the fight. Come in, pimp. Are you? So yeah, we're running it back with Defiant Seed, man, and it's gonna take a couple mid tries, Defiant. So keep on trying in. You already know how it does. Sometimes it doesn't want to let him in, and it takes a few tries. But we're going to do another episode of CannaConvos with Defiant Seed because it's been a minute, man. So we're going to run it back, and all you new followers get to learn how Defiant does his thing and everything that he does, man. He's got some killer genetics. If you're watching my grow right now, I got 4 of his going on, or 1 genetic right now, which is the Oaxacan. 4 of those going. I was going to do some Mexican mix. There's another one of his that he has. Did I let you join in there, Defiant? What's going on? But yeah, I got. I'm gonna have some more. See, I wasn't able to join. All right, hold on here. Let's try it again. The last time it took 3 tries before the homie was able to join, so we'll probably be there. What's the good word, brother? Just chill. Defiant, man. What's up, brother? How you doing? There you go. How's your day, brother?
Good. And you?
Yeah, chilling, man. Fucking getting ready for the holidays. Got all the shopping done, all that.
Oh, yeah.
Wrapping presents. Yeah. How's yours? Did you get all your shopping done?
Yeah, I didn't shop for anybody.
Yeah. Wifey does it, right?
I'm a Grinch.
Oh, you're a Grinch. You're like, what I did is I was like, here, you just get weed.
Yeah.
Boom, everybody gets some weed.
Yeah.
Even if you don't smoke weed.
Here, take this,
Yeah. Here's another fucking.
Yeah.
I don't even smoke. I don't care.
Yeah.
Do something with it. Somebody will take it off your hands.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I was just letting everybody know this is Defiant Seed. He is a good homie on here. Been following him for a minute. He started following me when I started the channel and everything like that. Joe. Yeah. Who's that? Travis? Yeah. So anyways, and this is your second time on. I wanted to bring you back on because I was like, this time I want it to be like less scripted, more just chilling. We're just gonna freestyle it. 2 homies talking about plants, baby. Right?
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Good. And so for all the new followers, they haven't seen you yet either. So now we could get to talk about your genetics and how it happened, and what you got coming up next and all that. Sure. I see you got some good plants behind you right now, huh?
Yeah. Figured I'd bring them out.
Are those the
show them off a little
Oaxacan?
bit? No, these are just some randoms out of my own grab bags. Okay. Some forest sweepings from different projects, and just sweep them up, throw them in a bag, grab them out of it. Actually, I think this one is a male, so it'll probably be coming down, but I bring it out, show it off anyway.
Yeah, very healthy looking.
Yeah. This other one actually isn't even showing a sex. It's got vegetation growing out where a brack would be, or, so it's kind of an oddball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. So,
do
you know the names of them?
No, I don't. Honestly, I don't. They're just some grab bag of my own. I mean, I had an idea what they could be, but I honestly, I don't.
Yeah. I had some of those too, man. I found some seeds and I was like, fucking, I think they're bubblegum cake or something, but I don't know. And yeah, I think at that point, I think you might be able to just fucking make up a name, right? Because
yeah.
I mean, at that point,
I don't have no idea. They're just like I said, I had a room full of different plants where when the seeds fall to the floor out of the plants, there's a mix of plants. I just swept them up over the years, and I've been throwing them in a bag. So there's no way I'd really know. Yeah. So
yeah, and there's thousands of seeds that come out of one plant, right?
Yeah.
God, man, the amount of seeds is amazing.
Yeah.
That's why when people are charging a lot of money for seeds, I get a little bit like really, because you can get a lot of fucking seeds. Like if you really was charging $300 for a pack of seeds or whatever the fuck these crazy ass motherfuckers are doing.
Some of that I understand, but you know, it's outrageous.
Yeah.
Some of that. I mean, there is time and money that goes into it, obviously. And if you're holding something, you know, that's rare as shit, yeah, I can understand not wanting to give it up for some people, but you know, share the love.
Yeah.
At least, you know, you don't need to charge that much for them.
Yeah, right. And so what I was thinking was, like, say you had a whole tent or a whole grow, right, that just started spitting seeds. You would have at least $3 million worth of seeds there, dude.
Oh, easily.
Like,
yeah. I mean, you gotta sell them, but yeah, if they're in demand, yeah, you're gonna clear on them for sure.
Yeah, Jesus, that's crazy. But and then again, on the flip side, if they don't sell, and you just stuck with a bunch of fucking seeds, right?
You go out in the wild and start chucking them in places.
Throwing them out here,
throwing them around.
Johnny Apple seed. Yeah. Oh man, have you ever done that? Have you ever just went around throwing seeds?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I think we had talked a little bit about that when we first interviewed. I have, you know, I'm the youngest mate, and there's a gap between me and the next. And my brother would take seeds. We'd go out fishing together, and we'd go places. He'd be chucking them everywhere. I mean, right? Yeah. And we'd be walking down somebody's alley. He'd be throwing them in their garden. It was like, what's this guy doing? I didn't know. I was still pretty young then, but yeah, you know, helping him plant stuff out in the wild. And then, yeah. Pick up on that.
Man,
end up doing
I haven't done it lately, but I don't know, I'm thinking about it. If I get enough seeds, if I start to breed. Which, on that note, I wanted to ask you about pollen. Is pollen good to ship? Like,
yeah, as long as you dry pack it, you know, as long as it's dry, keep it, you know, just straight pollen. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to get some pollen off you, brother, because one of the who I was talking with, shit, I forgot who I was talking with, but they said that just to put out the word out here to see if anybody had any pollen, and I was like, oh yeah, man, I didn't think about that, but I'm pretty sure there's hella people out there that just got the pollen that could hook it up, you know.
I see quite a few people always shipping pollen. I've done it a couple times. I shared some with someone, and actually, poor guy, when it arrived, either there was moisture, you know, in the pack, or maybe the mail, who knows how, but anyway, it was actually wet when it got there. So you got to make sure it's pretty dry, and make sure it's in a dry pack of some sort, some silica or something. But yeah, it'll arrive. It'll be viable, good to go.
Good to go. And then for those who don't know, we were talking last time about breeding. I haven't bred yet. That's why I wanted to take some tips from Defiant here, and he gave me a great fucking tip of just flowering a clone and then breed that. Put some pollen on that clone. That's a bud, and then there you go. You'll get enough seeds that you need to start another project.
Yeah, plenty of seeds. People you see do hold rooms. You know, that's for somebody that's doing that. But for home grow, yeah, you only need, you know, small handful. A little clone will give you hundreds, and that's more than you're ever going to be able to hunt. You know, hundreds of plants right there.
That's crazy, dude. Hundreds, yeah. So you got way enough plants.
Yeah. A little 8-inch clone with quite a bit of nug. Yeah, that'll give you hundreds easy of seed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might do that in my little tent. I have a little two-footer, I think, that I usually put my clones in. Yeah, but I'll probably just stick one of those in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and put the do the little clones go through a stretch? Those Peach Hill, that's who we were talking to. We were talking to Peach Hill, and he said to put the word out. What up, Peach? Do they go through a stretch transition?
Cultivar dependent, sure. I mean, if you have something that you took a clone off that stretch, it'll still stretch, yeah. It may not be large, like a full-size plant, or, you know, a larger plant, but it will, yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. So I'm going to have to be ready for that. Because I figured, yeah, that would happen. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen to every fucking plant. So this depends on the cultivar, man, how they fucking do it. Like this one that I'm doing right now, the Triple Crown, holy shit, brother. 2 days, 3 days in the flower, it just fucking stretched out. Wow.
I see.
She went
pretty lanky. Yeah.
She's lanky as fuck, man. She went, and I think the other plants might have done that too, which I pulled a nug out of it. This is the triple crown that I grew right now.
Yeah.
Bam, 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 bam. And I wanted to see what it would be like hand trimmed, because I haven't hand trimmed this one. I don't think I did. I got the trim bowl around this time that I got
Oh
the
yeah, I
triple
remember last
crown.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Good.
yeah, it works really good. It works really good. It saves time, and that's one thing that I'm really, I fucking my time, dude. My time is the most important thing to me. So, I have to do it. I got to do it. But looking at the hand trim, I said, Jesus, man, there are some nice trichomes on here. I don't think I'm gonna run it through the bowl this time.
Rough them up. Yeah.
Yeah, rough them up a little bit. That's the thing, there's that trade-off.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, if you hand trim and then you go on the bowl, there's always a trade-off. You're going to get your time, and your hands aren't going to hurt, which is always a plus. But your con is you're going to be losing some of that trichomes.
Come off and beat them up a little bit.
Yeah. And on the butt, have you ever tried one of those?
Nope. I haven't. Always hand trimmed. Always hand trimmed everything.
Ah, so you're a purist.
I guess so, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, usually all wet trim, water wash, wet trim. The water helps keep it from sticking, gumming up, keep it wet. Clean them up,
So like freshly after a wash is when you trim?
Yeah. Right away. I'll knock most of it off. I might leave the, small sugar leaves to help encoat the bud, but wash and trim it up, hang them to dry.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't thought of that one. I always figured that if it was wet, it wouldn't if it was too wet, that it wouldn't work as well. But it's nice, man. I'm gonna have to try that
water
one.
Helps. Water's, a lot of people use alcohol and after all that. But if you, I'll usually let it dry like a day or two, let it wilt down. And then, I'll get the buckets out and clean, dunk it, and then wet trim right away. And the water to keep it scissors clean. And
I'm gonna have to try that one. It's been a minute since I hand trimmed. I don't think I might not go back. If I do, I'm gonna get the homie to help me.
That bowl trimmer. So
yeah, the bowl trimmers, man. I saw there somebody left a comment on there and was just like, ooh, all cringy. And yes, it is cringy at first. At first, when you're first doing it, you're like, I'm just knocking off so many trichomes and shit. But then when it's done in fucking 10, 15 minutes, it's like, boom, dude. Like, what? I can't even look back, bro. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. That's shit. But, so what do you got? I was gonna bring up to everybody the Oaxacan, right? This is a strain that you made, right? This is your personal one?
Yeah. So by chance, I came across one seed from the 1960s, supposedly, right? So that's why I had the genetics test and showed that I had, trying to authenticate it as much as possible. And
it was?
it takes, when you're doing those kind of tests, it takes a large pool. Everybody has to be, submitting something to it and it sort of shows where that region comes from. Or
data pool.
Yeah, the data input, yeah.
Okay.
But,
okay.
Yeah, so far nothing's related to it. And where that started, to get to your question, where it started was, I wanted to always get to that. I've held it for so long. But I'll do it and do that on here on Instagram and show me doing that process. So I took that one seed, pure luck. I got a female out of it and cloned it, ran it a couple times, and it seems pretty stable. So what I did was reversed, limbs on it and started self-pollinating it to get the S1.
Okay.
And that's what I handed out, the S1 seed. That opens up that gene pool, right, from that one plant. Okay. Because even though you self-pollinate something, especially in cannabis, the seeds that come out, you're going to find different phenos. All those plants will be different. It won't be an exact clone type thing of the mother plant.
So their different characteristics will start to come out of the mother and the father, right?
Different traits from that female on it. Yeah. Okay. So then what I'll do, or have been doing, is all the seeds from that come out, those S1 seeds, I'll pick and choose, whatever traits, and then breed those forward with a different male plant from Oaxacan, and try to keep that line pure. And I'll just keep breeding back to a different seed from the original mother. So it's a type of back crossing, but you're actually going back more to the gene pool by grabbing a seed and then opening up more of that, that gene pool that way.
Which is always good during breeding, right? Because it's the same thing as with humans. If we were, inbreeding,
Yeah.
You always need that other gene to come in to help sustain or to keep it stable, right?
Right. And you don't have the inbred depression. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, bitching. That's so fucking cool the way that we could just like straight up. It's almost like humans. We could follow where it came from. We can find out what the mother and the father was. Then you get different characteristics when you have the babies, when you have the seeds. One's gonna be taller than the other one. One's gonna be more bushy. One might just fucking stretch like crazy.
Exactly. And
like
then
and
some you keep those plants and work on that line from that one. So that was my only way of doing that with that one seed. And luckily it popped. It was an old seed. Luckily it popped, and then it happened to be a female, so I was able to do that. If it had been male, I would have done the same thing, but found a different female and bred it with that, and then used the pollen, like you're saying. I would have saved pollen or kept a clone and then just kept repollinating. But luckily, I would prefer the female, like I did in this case, so I can actually use a different seed instead of using the same pollen.
Okay. Yeah, which is always good, right? To keep a new seed going or something like that instead of just using old pollen. It's basically like old cum.
Yeah. You're only gonna get so far with that, man.
you want the fresh stuff. Just kidding.
Well, pollen's a little different. It would still open up the gene pool in a way, but yeah, it's nice to know that what the female look like, because we always want to see what the flowers look like.
So, Toasty's in here. Toasty, what up, girl? How you doing? Hey, I wanted to let you, Toasty, know that I sent her a message to be booked on another episode of CannaConvos for February 3rd or 10th. February 10th. So check your DMs, okay? Back to Defiant. So what you had one seed that turned out to be a female, right?
Yeah.
Of the Oaxacan, and then did you have to cross it with another?
Yeah, I had to outcross it, and I did that with a couple different ones.
What does outcrossing mean?
So from the original Oaxacan line, it went out into a different line, which was the Panama Colombian Oaxacan cross. And I also made one with the Panama Colombian, to increase the Oaxacan. That's the only male I had at the time. But luckily, I had a few people donate some Oaxacan plants to me, and very fortunate. Thank you to those who've done that. And pulled some males from them and used those to cross to the line also. But to find out what's in the 60s Oaxacan, you have to keep bringing back to that seed. That way it keeps more of that gene pool around instead of what you've been working with from the male side. So yeah, now I have a couple different regular lines, and it's just a matter of taking the time to go through them all.
Yes. So when I start my breeding journey, what do you think are some characteristics that I should be looking for in a plant?
Mostly compatibility. Look for plants that aren't going to be that far away from each other, that look very similar, maybe have the same smell. If you have something that smells citrus, you're almost guaranteed to have a citrus smell when it comes out.
You'd say, like not a citrusy with the gassy, right?
I mean, you do what you want, but I'm just saying, if it's something you ever wanted to look for, that's it, then find something very similar to it, whether it be structure, smell, the general look of it, that works in your environment too. If you have something that's been growing well in it, you want to go with that, then you find a couple that are that way. Yeah, grow them together, cross those.
Yeah. And so basically, like if you want a way more citrusy smelling plant, then you would want to cross with more citrusy plants, right?
Yeah.
Like,
find something.
Yeah. You get something like that. Like I had a strawberry cough that tasted or smelled like real strawberries. So they probably crossed that with more strawberry smelling terpenes.
Hopefully increase your ratio of finding one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I still don't know where to start. Where I'm gonna try, of course, I'm gonna try to get a wedding cake crossed with a I forget. missing number. He sent me some wedding cake seeds though, so I have those right now. I gotta remember the other side of the cross that I want to try to do. But when I do this, I'm gonna be calling you, like I said, brother. We're gonna be like this, man.
Anytime, chime in, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like
it's real. I mean, really, you can do whatever you want. Just cross something, you know, and see how it works out. Pick a couple of your favorite plants. You never know how they're gonna turn out. So
what would a plant be if it didn't work out? Like something that, like, how do you say if you cross something that was just so undesirable, like when you flowered it, that like, is that possible? Like something that smelled like shit, or something that just smelled bad?
Oh yeah, sure. You can have recessive traits, you know, that actually don't show in plant lines until you cross them together, and then those two traits, or you know, alleles, they happen to line up, and then they'll show, and those can actually be a problem. Sometimes they can become what's, you know, a dominant trait, or over dominant. Dominance is what's really known as, but that becomes, you know, fixed in that line, and then you don't have the original at all. You know, it becomes its own thing from there.
Okay.
But yeah, it's possible. I mean, you can find undesirable traits, something you don't want when you cross them, yeah. But you don't know until you do it. So no, you know, that's the whole idea. You grow out plots. Unfortunately, you know, in small grows, you don't have, you know, acres to grow out, but
yeah,
that's what you would do. And you can still do it on a smaller scale. Like I said, it's clones. You can still do a bunch of clones. Like I've, you know, given that example. I've shown that in the past where you can do a ton of little clones. You don't need a big plant to find out, you know, what you're looking for. And
yeah,
you can advance your clone right away. Take a clone off a small plant like these here. Go ahead and clone it. Get your clone, put it in to flower like I have the other ones right now. I'm doing the test on. Let this grow out. As that's flowering, you'll be able to see the structure of this, how it grows, and if you like it, and if it has like the leaf traits or whatever trait you're looking for in it. And if it's displaying those, then you'll know, well, okay, the vegetative stage is good. It's growing how I want. It cloned well. Did it clone well? Did it root well? Then while it's flowering, while it grows out, you're starting to see those smells and stuff. And if they have it, then you already know this is a keeper. You can take your pollen, go ahead and pollinate what clone you want right away. That little clone is going to give you plenty of seed to work with, you know. And the ones that aren't there, then you just get rid of all those. Be sure, just get rid of them. You got to make a decision on those.
Yeah, so that's one hard thing for people to do, though. Yeah. It's hard for people to just get away from to just rip out a clone, or, you know, because you put a lot of work into that shit, man. And so, you know, it's hard. It's fucking hard. And so I remember when I first started, it was like one of the hardest things to do was to get rid of this plant that was just holding on for dear life, brother. Like I posted it up with a pin and everything, and I was like, "Come on, baby. You got this."
A little wire wrapped around holding it up or something.
All that shit, man. It just held it on for dear life. And then it was like, one day I went in there and I was just like, I all defeated. I was like, I got to give it up. I got to.
For it,
yeah. I got to, man, this poor thing can't, you know. And ever since then, it's gotten a lot easier. We'll just, you know.
Yeah, you get the feel for it, sure. It does suck, though. You can get attached to plants, for sure.
Yeah, fuck. Hey, man, because they're like your babies. You put a lot of work into them, so you got to do it. One thing I was going to ask you is, do you have a lot of problems with the clones when they're flowering? Since they're in, like, you keep them in like single cups, right? Or party cups is what you would keep it in. Is it easier to feed? Do you get more deficiencies? You know, like,
it's the same as any other game you're growing, right? It's the same way. I mean, you're growing a large plant. You see some people growing large plants in a 1 gallon pot, and they're like monsters. It's just a matter of keeping it in the range of what it needs and supplies, you know. So the little solo cups, I usually don't have any problems with them.
Okay. I've always had a real problem myself with not transferring in time, or like trying to keep a plant alive in a small pot. For some reason, I just can't do it. Like, it starts to deteriorate on me. They just I don't know if it's the roots start bouncing around, or they start getting
they can't get where they get so wound up and tight. There is that possibility, and then, you know, they're basically starving themselves of oxygen or feed because they just can't get to it. That can happen, but you can cut roots off.
Oh, really?
Sure, I've shown that also on my page somewhere. When I was in the Cron Solo cup grow off cup, I grew out of one cup. And when the roots were too big, somebody even asked me, so like, yeah, I want to see what you're going to do with them roots, because it's, you know, I did a hydro cup.
Yeah.
Cut them off. Yeah. They grew out halfway. They'll grow back. So
Does it go through shock?
No. There's a point which the plant will not, it won't even bother it.
Okay.
And at least I have never had that. So yeah, you can trim off roots. Excessive. Yeah, you're going to put it in shock. I mean, but you take off like a quarter of a root ball, it's not going to bother it.
Okay. Or you're so good that you just, you know, fucking make it snap back right away.
Well, you get the hang of stuff, so yeah.
I go do it and it's fucking, the fucking plant dies and shit. I'm gonna try it though. So I never thought that was possible. I didn't know that you could do that. That you could just pop it open and trim it.
Yeah, you can pull it out of the cup, rake out the roots, wash them out, you know, try not to damage them too much, and then just trim them up, re-soil it if you want, and put it back. Yeah, repot it.
Nice. All right, man. Fucking bitching. Everybody, those are some good tips, man. Make sure that you keep that, write it down, because fucking, I didn't even know that you could do that.
Yeah.
I always thought that.
You'll see with this grow I got going now with those clones. I'm not going to do that. They should make it. You know, I'm using just cocoa and the worm castings. Basically, one cup has got a little bit of soil in it, but I don't plan on doing anything to those because one, I can't, or you know, I should try not to do too much to them other than what's happening to them. So they're going to grow that whole time, and I'm going to show that, you know, that's not a problem.
Nice. The homie, my homie from work, he just said that they do it in the bonsai trees, because he's a bonsai person. And so it's okay. So you're just managing it, keeping it small. That's all you're doing. Yep. Is the art of bonsai. It's keeping it small. That's fucking small. That's so cool, brother. Can't believe I didn't think of that before. But I mean, it's an easy way to do that. You're not going to take up a whole thing of a whole different can.
Limited on space. It's a good way to do it. Yeah.
Good way. I was going to ask you, how far along are those clones that you have going on in those pots right now?
Week 3. We're in week 3 right now. Start week 3.
All right. Okay. Nice. El Connoisseur, I wanted to tell him, El Connoisseur, I got your package in the way. He's going to get some of your Oaxacan too, brother. So you're going to have some people just throwing your shit around, Pippin.
Yeah, sharing it. Yeah. I don't know what's in there. Like I said, I'm just happy to open up that gene pool. We'll find out if it's good or bad. I don't know. But yeah, like we won't know. It's a good way to do it. Share it and have other people work it too, you know?
Yeah, that's the best way to keep the community going too. Because there are some genetics, a bunch. I bet you there are so many genetics that are coming out that we don't know about yet, because everybody's crossing around here. There's people just doing this and getting into it, right? So there's all these different crosses that are good. We're not going to know about until, you know, later, that it'll get to us and shit. Yeah. But the amount of crossing that is going out here that we don't know about, like, could be insane. Like, because you're crossing something, I could be doing something. This other homie around, El Connoisseur, could be crossing something later. Fucking, you know, all of us can. We all could do this shit. And so, like, this just goes into one subject that I was talking about earlier. I was talking about how plants are the smartest. I think the ones who are really ruling the planet, because they have got us to cultivate them, to keep them alive forever. You know, what we do without them, and we wake up every morning to feed them, to get them going, you know, to get them healthy, to feed us and keep the process going and shit, right? And this is in lots of plants, not just cannabis.
There's that, you know, plant animal coexistence that has to happen for some things to even survive. There are many plant species out there that rely on, say, you know, something to come along and eat that plant in order for the stomach acids to dissolve some of the shelling. So when they go and, you know, shit that out. And, it is planted now. Now it can be grown. Without that animal coming to it, that can't happen. And no other animal eats that certain type of plant. So, you know, there's those coexistent things that are pretty cool like that in nature. So yeah, you're not far off with some of that for sure. You know, there's some truth to it.
Yeah, definitely with the cannabis plant too. I don't know about it taking over us, but we have cultivated this plant for so long, and we have genetically modified it for a long time. Like when they name that strain GMO, I was like, what? That's a bitchin' fucking name for it. Because that's
Probably
what we're
longer
doing.
than we even know. You know, I truly believe that there was a history before what we know, and
Yeah.
some of the stuff that pops up, it does make you wonder. And some I've always wondered about. It's kind of out there, but wondered. You know, we have the cannabinoid system in us. I don't wonder if the plant wasn't developed, you know, before a time we know about, to actually work with us, because we're finding that out now. I mean, you know, all the old hippies used to say, you know, hey, this helps me do this, and now we're learning that, and science is actually being put to it. You know, but again, we work together. Either that happened way back when, or we developed together with it, and you know, we did something for that plant, it did something for us. You know, harmony.
Yeah. Harmony. There you go. That's a good word for it. That's what it is. We do this harmony dance with this plant because, you know, we get up in the morning, we go in there. It's our safe spot for some people. Well, most people, man, because you're supposed to be having fun with this. You're not supposed to be stressing over it too much. Anybody who's out there that's growing, I want to tell you, if you're a new starter, a new grower, just don't stress about it. We're supposed to be having fun. Make sure that, you know, if something dies, you can redo it. You can always redo it. This knowledge is knowledge. And the best thing about knowledge, it doesn't go away. You know, once you learn something, boom, that's it. You got that knowledge for life. So just have fun with it, man. Have fun with this thing. And the best plants come out better when you're having fun with it, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. Good attitude. It translates to the plant. We all know that.
Yeah.
You got a good vibe going into that plant. Good vibe comes out. You got somebody that has, you know, the old school drug dealers. They weren't that good about stuff, and you knew when you smoked that stuff or, you know, consumed it. It was like, yeah, this stuff's. It gave you that, you know, same kind of situation with them.
That
You
dirty
want to go
feeling,
back there.
like you're like, oh, I shouldn't even be smoking
Right.
this. I feel so dirty.
Yeah, but then you found something good and somebody cool with a cool attitude, and you're like, oh yeah, you know, the whole vibe of it. Just it all goes. It works.
Goes into the bed. That's why I always say that my secret ingredient is love. That's the love that I'm put into these buds, man. People are like, why are your buds so good? Why is it so fucking dank? It's because of the love, pimpins. The love.
Exactly.
Don't you taste that shit, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So new growers, even if it doesn't turn out the best, biggest looking plant like you see on, you know, Instagram magic, you know.
Yeah.
As long as you had fun doing it and it works for you, that's the best right there.
Yeah. That's why I'm really big on showing the good and the bad. I'll show you guys there even when I fuck up a plant or, you know, something happens like that, because I want you guys to feel that it's not just as perfect all the time.
Yeah.
You know, all you see is buds and shit. Like, you know, like food, yes, too. But you know, it's not always perfect. You're gonna have these trials and tribulations that are gonna happen, these stresses that are gonna get you mad and you're gonna want to give up, and you know, there's
with that one little plant, you know, that never grew. It grew up so yay big, and then, you know, like you said, what did I do wrong? What do I do? You know, that poor little plant, probably 4 or 5 months, never grew. Stayed a little tiny. We've all been there, you know, something like that. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and you'll figure it out. Yeah, it'll be easy, and that's a good one right there. Failure is the key to success, right? And I always like to say that you don't learn from fucking always winning all the time. No. You don't become a well-rounded person by always getting everything handed to you, by always doing perfect, by always, you know, hey, you know, anything I do I'm fucking good at. No. Like, you got to fail at some things. Even though I do say that sometimes. I always say I'm good at everything I do. But, like, at work, shit, for instance, at work, I've been doing the fucking pizza oven. I'm sucking at it, man. I suck. I fucking suck. And I'm like, no, I will get better. I'm fucking dedicated to this
have that
shit.
drive,
Yeah, man. Because my chef, he was like, hey, the pizza oven smells fierce. I was like, oh, that's a good one. All right, then fuck that. I'm not gonna let that fucking shit smell no fear no more. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, subject change. So what do you got new in the works? Are you just doing the Oaxacan and actually the Mexican mix? I wanted to ask you about that. What's that cross?
So that is a mix of different regions down there, states. It's the Oaxacan. I got some Oaxacan in it.
Okay.
There's some Michoacan, some other areas along there, and some Colombian. You know, that's not quite in the Mexico range, but that's just a cross of all that mix. You know, kind of a breeder's pack. Hopefully, you'll find something good out of it. All the good goes in. You're going to find something in there that's good. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Hell yeah.
And I figure I'd send you that pack so you could find some good varieties in there.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, damn, we're gonna have some breeding for a minute. Got a good inventory there to go through, and I'm gonna check it out. I didn't know if I should clone. I was thinking about if I should clone these Oaxacans right now, or if I should just send them in the flower, test them, like see if I like it, and then start crossing, and then start the crossing thing. But or no, that would be too late by then.
Keep a clone. I mean, if you got space and you're gonna seriously think about keeping some of it, you'll want to keep a clone.
Okay.
I mean, you can constantly re-clone a small clone. As soon as you're able to take a clone, clip it, clone it. That way you don't take up space.
Yeah, I'll just take like 5 clones. If 3 of them sprout, then keep 1, give 2 away. Because you don't mind, right?
Not at all. No, I'm not one of those people that care about that. Yeah, you can share it all you want. Hopefully it goes out.
Good. Well then, yeah. Everybody, if you want some Oaxacan, let me know. I got you, man. We'll spread this around to where everybody can get it. I want you to document it, though, and be tagging us. That way we can see the process of this and see what you guys get. If any other characteristics come out, if, you know, you cross it with something else and it gets even more stabilized or anything like that. You know, keep documents so that we know, because we know where it comes from right here. Like, you know, so let's see where it ends.
Even if it's not good, we need to know about that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, the data is straight up. It's a data pool that we need to know. So even if it's not good, if you don't like it, whatever, let us know. Let us know what kind of terps you taste in it, because, you know, also everybody's palate is different. Some people will hit it and then they'll be like, yo, environment changes. Yeah. There's so many fucking variables in this growing to where it's, you know, nobody's going to get the same thing. I keep saying it over and over again. Like, there's no way that all these variables that we're all going to have the exact same thing, like, or you know, even close to
minor things that change in it. Yeah, big time.
Yeah, it will be close, but there'll be minor things that will not get it right. Like your temp could be off by 3 degrees or something like that. And, you know, you might have CO2. Like I just put CO2 in the tents and I can already see a difference. They're starting to grow pretty fucking fast. And, yeah, that's a lot of variables, man. A lot of variables. So what do you have new in the mix, though? That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, so I'm just going to run the Oaxacan line and try to get down the lines and just see what's in them and try to, you know, create more of a stable line for the original genetic. Okay. Other than that, I'm not doing much. You've seen that on my other page. I'm growing chilies. Just, you know, I love growing different things.
Actually, I don't have your other page. Huh. Do I?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll hit you up on it.
Maybe I'll make sure.
Yeah.
That way you can see it.
Yeah. But I'm gonna grow out some other genetics that are not mine. There's a couple people sending me some stuff, and I have some already. So I plan on popping those just to show and grow somebody else's genetics. So
yeah, that gets.
I'm gonna take a break from showing on mine, you know, and just work behind the scenes on the Oaxacan. But I'm gonna grow somebody else's. So yeah, I got those coming. Honey Badger grows. He's been working. He's like you. He started out somewhere, you know, making a cross, and he's got quite a few in the works, and he's been doing pretty good. So I'm gonna grow out some of his.
Yeah.
And, a couple others I'm gonna drop. So we'll see what they turn out like.
Sick. Oh yeah, man. I'm gonna keep posted on that. I bet you it's gonna come out very good. Let's see. So, what about the edibles? Are you on the edible game lately?
No, that's just not for me.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're not an edible person?
No. I told you earlier, like my friends, we had some meals and we cooked some pot stickers, and mixed up I don't know what were they cooked in? Butter or
infused coconut oil.
Yeah, infused coconut oil. So we had ate them at dinner, and then, you know, at the end it was a couple left. I'm like, oh yeah, these were good. You know, I totally forgot they were infused. Yeah, it was a long night.
That's the thing.
Usually not my thing. You know, I'd rather just smoke. I honestly don't even consume that much, just here and there. But yeah.
Yeah, you know, I've been like that for a while. Where I would just take a couple hits and then just put it out. You know, I would always have my joint with my snuffer or my tube or something like that, and I just put it out whenever I was stoned, right? And then, I mean, I got all this trim and all this stuff here, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get into the edible game, right? And Jesus, man, I've been it's pushing my tolerance up there a little bit. Like I need to kick back. Also, one thing I wanted to talk about is we need to be able to make more sugar, less sugar. What is it? More healthier
Oh yeah,
ways of
healthier
ingesting.
edibles.
Yeah, because you know I'm gaining weight, man. Shit, damn it. And I was like, damn, you know, a muffin a day is not the way.
That's the thing too. You get the munchies again from it, and then you end up eating more.
Yeah.
Or you know, you're
Shit,
snacking
man.
everything. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's a fucking end of cycle, man. I don't want to get into that end of cycle, brother. Like, we need to find something to do to where somebody said to just pour it on popcorn, like your butter or whatever. But oh yeah,
We got somebody here. Yeah.
Okay.
We got carried away with popcorn. Yeah.
Does it work? Is it still healthy? Like, because the only thing, my problem is when you do with canna butter is you still taste a lot of the chlorophyll and, you know, the plant material sometimes. At least I did them.
Did you taste a lot of the chlorophyll?
No, I used it in the oil and the butter.
It was oil and butter. But yeah. Yeah, I got carried away, ate too much popcorn. So.
Yeah.
Already mobile out.
Well, at least you had a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Right?
Yeah.
You know, fucking might have not been able to remember the rest of the day, but yeah.
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 It's tripping pretty good.
Yeah. So with the edibles, I wanted to because everybody's starting to get into them. I've been doing them. Everybody loves my edibles. So I was going to start passing them along to everybody. So, you know, you guys can get a taste and everybody knows, you know, what my edibles are like. Yeah.
I'll check them out.
I'll definitely send you guys some. You know, everybody who sent me stuff is definitely going to get some. That way, you know, I can pay back, make it feel a little bit better or whatever, you know. But I wanted to bring up Emily, Anything Grows. She sent over some edibles as well. So she sent over some more muffins. We have some, hold on here. We have some banana nut, double chocolate, and gingerbread, right? And they're 50 milligrams, 75 milligrams, and then 100 milligrams on the gingerbread. So those are going to be nice. I'm gonna go to fucking the moon, man. Shit, that's gonna be those are gonna be good. So yeah, be ready because that's gonna be the next thing that's gonna be going around, brother, is edibles. We're gonna be passing them around and all that shit.
Well, you're cooking.
For mine,
you cook. You can also you don't have to use some of those with the chlorophyll in it. You know, you can always use your hash or whatever, and maybe some extract or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet. Does that work in the same principle? Can you just throw the hash into the food and go? Is it already decarbed?
I imagine you still have to decarb it, but yeah, once you're cooking it, you know, you're gonna cook it in. So.
Okay.
Do some tests. Let me know.
Yeah. My sister, my brother.
You can. Anybody done it? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments, guys, if anybody's used any hash for edibles or anything like that. If you have to decarb it already or not. Infused tallow, maybe.
Yeah. No,
I leave mine in that.
Grow it, but that kind of thing, I'm not into so much. So.
Yeah. I leave my edibles, my brew when I'm infusing my oil or butter. I leave it in for an hour in the crock pot. Actually, I don't do a crock pot though. I do a double boiler. So you guys should try that one. Double boiler is better because it's a little bit faster. But I don't know. It decarbs at the same time and infuses. You can do what you want with that information. But yeah, man, I'm excited. If you do get one of my edibles, I wanted to tell you. If you don't smoke all the time, make sure to eat half of a half, right? Which would be a quarter of one, okay? If you don't smoke all the time.
And then eat half of that.
Half of that once you get too fucking stoned and then you don't remember. But if you're down, if you smoke every day, then you should be able to eat one whole muffin and go for a good ride. Nice.
Right on, yeah.
Cool. My shit doesn't give you panic attacks or anything. even though I have made a recipe where it gave me and like 5 other people panic attacks, but like one of my OG customers, like she ate the cookie like nothing. She was laughing at it. She was like, she came back and she was like, now that is a cookie. I was like, word, because I've been giving her my shit right now and she doesn't even touch her. Doesn't even phase her. And I'm like, I'm getting a little offended.
Do you think that would work also like how cannabis does itself? Like the different ones can make you paranoid and some you don't, you're not, just no problem with them. Maybe you're in those concentrations from that kind of plant or.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Well, because I don't know, because it's the same trim and it's the same bag, it's the same stuff. But there was
when it got to a point, it was too much.
Yeah, it was a different recipe because I put for that recipe that I did too much on. I put 32 grams of flour into 2 cups of butter. So it was definitely overkill. But that was only to prove a point because some guy was like, "Oh, you can't make edibles strong enough to fuck me up." I was like, "Oh, okay. So you want to see, huh?" Bam! Fucking made it. Had that fool fucking his dick in the dirt, just fucking laid out. That boy was fucking tripping and shit. I was like, "See?" I was like, "You see?" And then I ate one and I almost cut down my plants outside, and like was straight up lightweight. No. I was lightweighting it. I was all scared.
Paranoid attack.
Paranoid attack, man. I thought they were gonna come in and kick down the doors and shit. I was fucking tripping, dude. My wife took me in the car. She got me in the car because she was like, "We gotta go to my dad's house," and I was like, "No, I can't get in the car." She's like, "No, come on." So I get in the car, dude, and it was like a fucking roller coaster. I swear to God, I was like this, like fucking. I haven't been that high in fucking years, dude. I swear to God, since I was a kid. So anybody out there, if you want a recipe for fucking up people, 32 grams of cannabis, of flour. Put that shit, yes. Thought the heartbeat was a helicopter. Exactly, man. I was like tripping, dude. Telling you, man. I vowed never to make that recipe again. So that should tell you how bad it was. Okay, but if anybody wants to fuck up the friends, there you go. I'm sorry, I take that back. Don't fuck up your friends, okay? That's not cool. All right, that's not cool. You warn them before you're gonna fuck them up. Then all day. Use the QP for a batch. I think that's too much. Now, okay, I wanted to tell you on that note, there is a level to where the fat content can't take any more THC. Have you heard of this, Defiant? Okay, so supposedly
are you talking on human consumption, or you mean like in the butters or whatever fat content?
In the butters, in the butters as cooking it, like the THC, you can only have so many levels of THC before the fat can bind to it. So after all that fat has binded to all that THC, there's still some THC left over that it just can't fucking bind to. So that's why you don't want to put too much flour in there. You don't want to waste too much. For the cannabis oil, yes. You don't want to, that's not saying that you weren't making a big ass batch, because if you're making a big fucking batch of oil, then yes, you would want to put a QP in. But you wouldn't want to try to shove a QP into a fucking jar and put it like a couple sticks of butter. You know, you want to have enough butter in there to soak up all that THC. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, yeah. What are you doing for watering now, dude? Do you just hand water still?
In DWC, I swap out.
Oh, you're in DWC. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
Other than the cups, those are on a high frequency fertigation. So basically, they're getting watered a couple times a day. Well, they're actually being fed, not watered. Those little cups, right now are twice a day, and they'll be going 3 times a day, and then maybe even 4 times a day.
Oh, did you say they're getting fed every time? So
a low dose.
Okay, so your EC's got to be pretty low at that point, right?
Yeah. So you get some pretty explosive growth that way. The small cup is going to dry out anyway, and it's best with straight cocoa. I can just, it floods out really good, drains out really well, but holds the holding capacity. Has a pretty good holding capacity for nutrients, and you don't want to build it up, but you want to keep a good flush through it to wash out, the excess old stuff, but replenish that. And with your high frequency or your multiple feedings, you're keeping that range, the plant in range with the feed. So it's always in pH range. It's always got fresh nutrients to eat, and you're flushing out the excess. So it's constantly in a good zone, and it just takes off. So yeah,
what kind of reservoir do you
those are all
have for
being
that?
hand watered.
Oh, you can hand water those ones. Yeah, okay. And then for the DWC, are you using 5-gallon buckets, right?
Yeah, 5-gallon.
And that seems to be the standard, right?
Yeah, it's because it was available. They're pretty easy to maneuver, and they're about right for whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I was looking at
You can have like trash cans, depending on the size of the plant you want to grow. And
yeah, that's what I was looking at. Dr. Hydro, he's got fucking trash cans. I think they're 30-gallon trash cans. I don't even know. Just huge. And his plants are growing amazing, dude. And I'm like, yeah.
These are 5s. They're in 5s. I don't know.
Those are 5s right there?
Yeah.
I can't tell. I thought they were in yep. Okay, so what about the bucket that has like a little lip on it? Have you seen this?
Yeah. So for this, like either adding nutrients or taking your sampling to check on it? Yeah.
Yeah. And like you could use this, in theory, you could use a shop vac and just suck out all the water like that and then change it out real quick, right?
Yeah, you can. If you're kind of nerd, for me, I just swap out the bucket. I'll fill a new bucket and swap them out because I only got a couple.
And then just put it over.
When I was running like 12 or 24 plants even, I chained them together and then had a pump and would pump them out, fill them up that way from the reservoir. RGW.
How did you chain them together? How did you chain them together?
Just, put some grommets in, run tubing to them.
Yeah, okay.
Connectors, just tie them all together.
Just make it a recirculating RWC,
that's it.
right?
With a drain on it, and then hook the garden hose to it, hook to a pump, and pump it out.
Boom. Easy peasy, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
I got to get into that game. I've been getting too late. Well, I don't know, because if you saw my post, I was just doing a bunch of soil earlier today. And I didn't know that you were supposed to put that much worm casting. I had just, huh?
You had quite a bit there. Yeah. It's just
So, it's a big fucking tow. It's a 27-gallon tow.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I probably should put half of the fucking bag of worm casting in there and let it just cook.
Was there a recommendation on the bag? Like I know the one I'm running now that the Vermabec has like I think quarter cup to something, but they gave a measurement. I just wondered, did they have a measurement on the bag? You could.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. I just didn't read it, of course. Fucking man style, just I know what I'm doing. Fucking throw it in. Now I'm like, oh shit, maybe that was too much. But I don't think
that size of tote. You're probably fine.
I don't think you can put too much worm casting, can you? If the whole fucking plot was worm casting, maybe. But
I've seen like where plants have grown. They're growing right out of a full-on shit pile.
Yeah.
And as long as they're pretty much done cooking or composting, and the micro activity isn't that high, they'll be fine. It's not going to burn the roots. It's just basically some soil nutrient in a way. It's media. It becomes media at that time. But yeah, they should be fine. As long as the soil doesn't get hot. That's something, I've talked to people about when they have questions about their soil, and they're adding organic nutrients. I'm like, well, how fresh and green is it? Because a lot of times you're cooking your plant roots and you don't know it in pots. I've seen pots where they burst into flames, they caught on fire from the organic matter. Just like you can see hay fires the same way. The microbial activity is so active, it becomes hot, and eventually it gases off and bursts into flames.
Word?
So sometimes you can see that in a flower pot, and it's happened. That's why I'll tell people to take a thermometer, stick it in your soil, and you can actually run, thermometers and cheap thermometers in your soil and watch the activity there too if you wanted, just for the heck of it. But be careful about fresh manure and stuff like that. So, but as far as what you added, I think you're fine. Yeah.
Okay. So, is there a way that could you just touch it with your hand and feel if it's hot?
Yeah, if it's wet, you can still feel heat. Just like when you see it outside, see a pile and it's like steaming.
Oh, yeah, and that's just the microbial life. Billions and trillions of fucking bacteria doing this thing. Amazing, dude. It's just fucking fascinating the way that this plant and everything works in soil. I'm not too sure about DWC. I haven't done like the research like I've done in soil. So I don't know if there is microbes in DWC. There has to be, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even in, well, more and more is being, science is finally being brought into this, but more and more the plants really rely on microbial activity, bacteria, and, they really rely on that more
to make the carbohydrates, right, for them to soak up.
Yeah, they pass out sugars, and there's that ion exchange that happens. But they actually will travel in and out of the plant, out of the roots themselves. They're carrying in. They will become part of that. Some of them will actually digest themselves inside the root system. Some actually will go back out into the rhizosphere and bring back food back into the plant. Yeah, it's awesome, amazing stuff.
Amazing, beautiful.
Yeah, but in DWC, yeah, definitely. It's best if you can build some type of microbe. And, companies are now making products specifically for hydroponics, so you can use them in.
So they're water-soluble microbes,
well, they will live in the situation of it. Yeah, they will live and work with the plant material in losing it in hydro medium. Anyway, yeah, the
medium or whatever,
the liquid,
the solution,
even if it's high salt, they're now making them that will live in the high salts. They'll go in and create an enzyme reaction that will actually break down salts and deliver them to the plants. So yeah,
that's so fucking sick, man. I want like somebody to make a video of an animated of how the bacteria is working in a DWC, how it's moving around, because there's slow motion videos of all the microbes moving around and soil, right? And you could watch that happening. That's fucking crazy cool.
It would be very similar. I mean, there's a biofilm that builds around the root, and it's even in DWC. There's still a film around that. In soil, they'll build that up, and they collect aggregates right from the soil, and they build these things up around the roots. That's when you pull out a plant and you see everything clung to it.
Yeah, are we talking about the mycelium network, or?
Well, that's in an infection for the root, but that's a start to it, right?
Okay.
And they start to build this biofilm up, and those collect to it, and it's all part of that. And in, say, DWC, in a submerged liquid, that can happen also. That biofilm is there, and in that film around the root, all that life is living in and out of that root system right there, and will not actually float off into the water. Some of it's going to, just because of agitation or whatever, but most of it's living still on and in the root system in that liquid. So yeah, it would be pretty much the same. And
that's fucking sick.
Yeah, and a lot of the pictures I've shown, you can see the inoculation nodules and growth on the roots, and that are in the DWC. So,
fucking bitching. All right, well, our time is almost up. I wanted to thank you again, brother, for coming on here, showing your knowledge, sharing your knowledge. You always kill it at it. So this is a great fucking teacher. Good job. Is there anybody that you wanted to tag or anything, or anybody you wanted to give a shout out to? Any genetics you wanted to run? Anybody you wanted to follow?
Just everybody that came in. Thank you guys. Yeah, chill. I don't do very many of these that hang out, so thanks everybody that showed up. Yeah.
Good. Thank you, everybody, for coming to check out Defiant Seed and checking out his genetics. Now, I'm going to be passing along some of this. You're welcome for the information, by the way, guys. This is what we're here for. We're here to spread the knowledge of growing. If you want to know about how to grow or anything, get a hold of me, get a hold of Defiant. You can get a hold of most of the people in this comment right here. Most of the people are growers, and they've been following our journey and everything, and they are very knowledgeable. So make sure to shoot us a message if you want to, and send this to anybody who wants to grow also. Thank you guys. Happy holidays. I want to just shout out to everybody. Stay good. Be ready for the next episode of CannaConvos. And another shout out to Defiant, baby, for being such a pimp.
Yeah, thanks again.
Yeah, brother. I'll see you next time, and then we'll have another one, huh?
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, good. El Connoisseur, you know something, you fucking liar. All right, guys. See you later. Have a good day.